The heart of our missions is that God will be glorified and the others will know the grace of God who has called us. Learn how God is using the lives of people like you and like me to expand His kingdom. This is Between Brothers.
All right, let's pray. Lord, thank you for my friend Bolivar. Thank you that he is here for just a few days. And in this day that he's here, we could meet together and we could talk. I pray that we would get to hear about his story, what you've done in him, and that your name would be glorified through that. Lord, thank you for how you're using him and growing him. Lord, I do pray for his safety in traveling, and also just logistically, it is stressful when flights are canceled and moved and changed. Lord, I pray you would take care of him, Amen. Get him safely home, back to his church and his work that he is doing in Ecuador. Lord, I also pray that you be with his mouth and with his English, give him the words to speak, and also help me as we ask the questions and respond and converse about his story and what you have done. I pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Normally, I don't watch the clock, but today we're going to be on a little bit stricter time limit. So
okay,
that's okay.
That's okay.
But we still have more than half an hour if we want.
Okay, yeah. I think it's going to be a good time.
All right. So let's start with your name and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Bolivar Alberto Fernandez. I'm from Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you from Quito?
I live in Quito now.
Right.
Originally,
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Machala.
Machala?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far from Quito is that?
If you fly, 1 hour.
Okay.
If you take a bus, 10 hours. If you drive, 8 hours. And you know the mountains, the Cordillera.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You need to drive slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you live in Quito before coming to the Bible college here, or only after?
After.
So afterward is when you connected with the ministry and the church there?
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. What year did you, when was it that you were studying here? Like, you were here when I first got here, and I was learning Spanish.
Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm. So, and were you here for 4 years?
Yeah, the entire program.
So what was...
The pastoral emphasis.
Yeah, the pastoral emphasis. What was the year that you graduated?
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So you've been there now for almost 5 years?
Yeah, because I do my OPT after my graduation.
Oh, yeah, you did your OPT in our home church in Redeemer, right? Or no?
Yeah, I was in Redeemer, my local church to serve, but I do my OPT in BSM.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Baptist Student Ministry.
I don't think I knew that. I think I did know that. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I forgot.
No, they have 5 years ago, so
yeah,
it's okay.
BSM just asked me, because our students still work with BSM, some of them.
It's a good ministry for...
They just asked me if we could make a video for them.
Okay.
And UTRGV, the local school.
Yeah.
So I sent it to my boss to ask if we could make their video or not.
Okay. It's a good guys.
Okay.
People over there, yeah.
That's good. That's good. All right. Bolivar, if you were going to divide up your life into your timeline of your life into 3 sections, how would you divide it up?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Did Andy ask you that in Spanish?
No.
No?
They asked me how was my life before I arrived here and after.
Okay.
I think obviously before Christ, you know, you don't think about your life. You don't have any purpose of your life. You just live your life. Doesn't matter what happened. I think that's one of my part. And between the second part, I think when God come to my life, and also I completely understand what the gospel was for my life. My second important part of my life, I think, when I come here to U.S. for study the Bible, I never thinking about how can that be possible for me, not even for the economic situation or something like that. I think for the, I never imagined in my mind to go to another country to study. Even in my family, after me, my sister go to Mexico to study after me, but I was one of the first of my family to go out to live. So I think this is my second part, and my third part of my life. I think it's now after the seminary, after the studies, to work that you study. Some people study I don't know a lot of things and work in that.
Yeah.
I think it's a privilege to study. 5 life of your life is a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
5 years. 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
5 years, yeah, of your life is a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, I don't know, I doesn't was to waste my time in that. So now to work in the ministry, I think is the best part of my life that I do today.
How old were you when you first got here?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're in your mid-20s somewhere.
Now,
Yeah.
28.
28. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to know about your work with the church planting.
Okay.
Because even this is part of the reason you're here is not actually because of the school, because of the church supporting. Our local church here supports you and the ministry in Ecuador for planting churches.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about Endos Network, but you shared at church about that. So I want to hear about that. But probably we should talk first about when did you know Christ?
Okay.
That would be like question one. When did you personally come to know Christ? How did you come to know him? And then question two, what made you decide to leave your country to come to another country to study the Bible?
Okay.
I think those would be my two big questions.
Okay, but I start with Endos or the two big questions?
Let's start with the two big questions.
Okay.
And then hopefully don't give the too long answer, and we'll come back to Endos.
Because I know I do that thing in English. It's gonna be a short question, a short answers. Sorry. Okay, I think when was the day? In Ecuador, my older sister, they come out of the city that I was live, and they studied to another city in Ecuador.
Okay, all right.
Always you have the plans to rest some days to the other part in your local city. So I was in my holidays. When you finish your studies, you have some 2 months for your holidays, for vacation, and I was in the department of my city, or my sisters.
Okay.
And my sister, my oldest sister, my second sister, she was one of the first believers in our family. So they go to a small church in Cuenca. And also Pastor William Montesinos, he was the pastor over there.
Okay. Where they went to church.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Cuenca. And I think I was 14 years old, and I know about God like I started when I was 10 years old. 10 years old and 14 years old, and I doesn't like the Christian life. And weird asked to me, "What's happening if you die today?" And I say, "I don't know. God have mercy of the people. Yeah, also God is justice."
Yeah. Who would ask you that type of question? Like, how did you know about God when you were like 10 or 11 and things? Did you go to church?
Yeah, in the church.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But when I has 14, we are asking that question. What's happened with your life if you die today? Say, I don't know. You know, God is love. God have mercy. But also, he asked me after that, you know, God is justice. So I know if that's happened to my life, if I gonna die, I gonna go to hell because I don't believe and I don't live the Christian life. And you know, I think that's the moment. And how can connect the ministry here with the go to USA? You know, some like you.
So in that moment, that is when
Yeah.
he asked you that question, and
Yeah,
you said
in
you
spite
don't
to
know.
me. Yeah, I don't know.
But he invited you in that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it was with Willard in
Yeah.
that church in Cuenca
Yeah, in Cuenca.
when you were visiting your sisters.
Yeah.
Did you go? But you said you went to church before that. Who did you go to church with before
Because
that?
my parents has an accident, a big accident, a
Okay.
car accident,
Uh-huh.
and my dad was really scared about that.
Okay.
And some of the, you know, Pamela Pavon.
Yeah.
Yeah, her mom is a friend for my mom.
Okay.
My mom. And
All right. Family, friends.
Family friends.
Uh-huh.
And they come to our house to read the Bible. They come
Oh.
with his pastor
After the accident.
after the accident.
So.
And that's the first time to know the gospel.
So
for
you
us.
okay? So because of a car accident, you
Yeah.
heard about God in the gospel, but you never accepted it. You just knew God was love
Yeah.
until Willard said, "Yes, but God is justice."
Yes, that's right.
Wow, that's a cool story. Okay, did you continue in that church with Wheeler, or did you come back to your hometown?
I come back to my hometown in Machala, but I take some decisions for go to another church in Quito.
To find a church.
Yeah, to find a church.
Did you go-
with Charles?
Oh, yeah?
Charles was in that church, and I told him, "Hey, can I visit your church? I have a mission team to go." Say, "Okay," and I do my mission work for 2 weeks. And after that, the pastor was asked about me, and he invited me to work with the church now that I am in Quito.
Wow. Okay. So that was when you were like a teenager, like
No, that is
after.
after.
Okay,
graduate,
I'm talking about still before.
Okay,
So-
before.
So you're 14.
Yeah, 14.
You meet Willard.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
I do
Do you come back to Machala?
to come back to Machala, do the membership and the membership classes and also the Baptist classes for get the
For a church there.
for church start.
Were your parents going to church with
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay, so by that time you guys were going to church as a family.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right, and now I think we're to where what made you decide to go study the Bible and why somewhere else?
Okay, that is a good question.
Because from 14 to 18, that's a few years to grow in the church, become but it's just a few years. 18, deciding to leave the country, that's a pretty big decision.
Yeah, even if you go to the long distance, was difficult because my dad and my mom they wasn't to give me the you can go, you can desire that, you can desire that because what gonna do with your life? If you study theologic, so what you gonna do with your life?
How are you going to make money
How
if
can
you
make
study
money?
the Bible?
If
Yeah.
you study the Bible.
Yeah, okay.
Even here in US, so if you sit in the table, one doctor, one engineer, and also one pastor. So for three of these tables, that is a professional people in US. Well,
Okay.
in our countries, so you are a pastor, you are nothing.
You are not a professional.
You're not a professional.
Okay,
Even
okay.
Now I think the thing's gonna be better. The people thinking different now, but I am talking about 2014. It was different.
Okay.
And a big
So
thing.
they were not in favor. They were
No.
not excited about that.
No.
So did someone encourage you to
Yeah,
do that?
our local church leader
Okay.
also was weird.
Okay.
They invite to me, hey, let's go. We're gonna pray for
Now
you.
he was over in Cuenca.
No, after that they come back to Machala.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
by this time he is your pastor.
yeah. 2 years
And,
after.
and we should
2 years.
mention for everyone listening, Wheeler is also now part of the leadership of Rio Grande Global. So he
Yeah.
came here to study. He is now working and training churches for doing missions.
Yeah.
So that we're talking about Wheeler, like everyone should know who he is.
Yeah,
But just
I
to
know.
mention.
Okay. Yeah. If you desire one thing, you need to pray. Pray, 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 and you need to have a conviction of that. You have a conviction. If you pray, God gonna be answer your prayer request, and that thing helped me a lot.
So he encouraged you and you decided to go.
Yeah.
How did you decide here? What made
Because
you know this was
yeah,
here?
because I have a missionaries that plant in the church, Anglo missionaries from U.S.
okay.
They from Minnesota, and they go to plant in the church, and they study Spanish here. I don't know, 1970.
Oh, wow.
1970 maybe.
Yeah.
And they study Spanish, saying, "I know a seminary for you." Really? They in US, it's a lot of money. No, don't worry. And they give me the contact, and I search in the website,
Uh-huh.
and I talk with the, admission team.
Admissions, yeah.
Admissions, and they give me the information. Okay, it's Rio Grande for me, and also because in Ecuador we use US dollar.
Oh, yeah.
We use
Okay.
US dollar. They don't have, we don't have a local money, and the cost was a little bit not different than if you study in a private university in Ecuador.
Oh, okay.
So, but I can't believe that, and I asked some friends, and also to know a little bit more, and I talked with admissions, and was prayed. My dad and my mom say, okay, let's go. You can go, and they go to the embassy to get the visa. God give the visa to come here.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, so
By
now
the
you're
grace of
here. Now we're at the part of the story where you're here for 4 years and then a
Yeah.
5th year for your practical training.
My OPT,
Yeah.
after finish
So-
my studies.
So, to not take too long with this part, what would you say is the biggest thing that God changed about you when you were here? So, what are the biggest changes in your life when you were here?
I think to be more like Christ. So you mean more humble, and because if you study, you don't need to be proud. You need to be humble. Because if you study for help the people, to know more about God, for teach the gospel. I think this is one of my biggest challenges. If I am here, what am I gonna do with all my things that I have in my mind, and also what am I gonna do after finish my studies? Because I don't want to do another thing that to serve the Lord. But they have a lot of things to do. Even in US, they have a lot of organizations, a lot of churches.
Right.
If you go to the other city, they have 3 or 4 churches here. And you say, what are you gonna do with that? Yeah.
So, learning to serve like Christ,
Yeah.
which means being humble.
Humble.
Yeah.
To love the
What's
people.
some examples of how you learned to be humble while you were here?
The Rio Grande give a scholarship.
Yeah.
and we started to go outside to do, you know, in campo to
Yeah, working on the maintenance.
maintenance. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh huh.
cook the grass.
Yeah.
Was in the summer.
In 100-degree weather,
Yeah.
120-degree
Was-
weather.
yeah.
So working, it's the work scholarship.
Yeah, the work
So it's-
scholarship.
You work to
Yeah,
help cover your costs.
yeah, and also I worked in the other departments. Was very blessing time because that teach me to uh, you are here to know more about Christ, to know more about God, and also you need to be humble, and also you need to be like Christ. And if you have the opportunity, doesn't matter what job do you have for your scholarship, you just need to do that. Yeah.
What's one of your favorite classes that you remember?
I think one of my favorite classes was spiritual life.
Okay.
They do between Aaron Jewett, he passed away, Aaron Jewett, and Nelson Matus. Yeah, Nelson Matus. One of my favorite teacher was Ken Bennett. Yeah, I think this is, and also my class that I remember very well was pastoral ministry with David Loyola.
Yeah.
Yeah, was good
Very
because
practical, right?
yeah, very practical. You do the baptisms, the wedding, and you do the service funeral.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Funeral, baptism, wedding.
baptism, yeah.
I think, does he do like how to celebrate the Lord's Supper?
Yeah.
So it's like the practical functions of being a church leader,
Yeah,
being
and also
a pastor.
you discuss some topics about what's happening if you have this case in your church. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember I've recorded some of those classes, so I remember some of the
Yeah. We recorded it with
Yeah.
the pool. And yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
ordination. The
Yeah,
ordination.
yeah, ordination
part,
too, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what it's like, and that's what you're going through now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Share with me a little bit about that, because I come from a Baptist background.
Okay.
Okay. The ordination process is not usually that long.
Okay.
I feel like for you guys, they've been very intentional, and it's been a longer process.
Yeah.
Maybe share like what's that been like? What is the process for ordination been like at the church where you're serving now?
Yeah, I have one of my best books that was read. Sorry. Also, they have in English. I don't know, but in Spanish is La Fórmula de Liderazgo for Juan Sánchez. It's a good book, and that book helped me a lot to understand your call. Las 13. Y eso lo puedes traducir. Tienes que tener carácter.
Okay, so the 13 things that you have to have: character,
convicciones,
conviction,
cuidado,
care,
y con el tiempo te da credibilidad.
and with time, that gives you credibility.
Yeah. And even we do that in our church because we start a lot of things new, not new for the theology or for ecclesiology, because our church they do a lot of things new. They change a lot of things that I was wrong in our church So also one of my friends, Charles Cisneros, he's a pastor now for our church, and one of the other friends that studied the master program, Jefferson. We was three, and we talked to the pastors council, and okay, you're gonna do a pastoral ministry of residence for 3 years, and you're gonna do ministry program, and you're gonna do some counsel, some discipleship, some teach. You're gonna preach some Sundays and something like that. I think it's a local training for us, and
Yeah.
I don't know they don't have more of like us, like Jefferson or like Charles that we have in our church. I think it's now. I think it's gonna be como menos less time that I
Okay.
want to. Yeah.
Are you guys like the first
Yeah.
generation
Yeah, the first generation.
of pastors going through the ordination
Yeah,
process?
yeah.
And it's, I guess, so the time, I guess, is an important thing, because someone can come into the church and say, like, I've gone through seminary, I know
Yeah.
all this stuff, but
The seminary students help us a lot, but you know, the church have the keys of the heaven, and that Jesus says to Peter, and they have the authorization to know and also to accept. You're gonna be my pastor because you have conviction, you have character, you have care about us, and also with the time, I'm gonna be believing you because you work with us. Yeah,
that's good. So you've been with this church for several years now,
yeah, 4 years
4 years.
now.
I guess the part I've heard about is like the part about planting churches.
Yeah, now.
And then also training leaders, like
Yep.
training people, members of the church in the Bible, right? That's the part I've heard about. Tell me, I guess, what else has happened in the last 4 years?
Okay, I think I connect with the Rio Grande when I was here and also now. You know, Pastor Felix Cabrera and also Julio Crespo come here to some of the conference of leadership.
Oh, okay.
You know, Rio Grande do leadership conference and also a mission conference.
Right? Are they the pastors there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like they come, I think they come. I don't know if 2017. 17
For missions or for the
for
leadership?
pastoral program.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember the year very well, but they come here and they come with Jonathan and Sarah Jerez, you know, the Sovereign Grace in Spanish music. And I know you when you know some person, you add close friend in Facebook. So I know Pastor Felix like I think 7 years ago, and that's important to make some friends. You know, make some friends because you never know about in the future. And when I was in Ecuador, I talked to the Pastor Felix and I told him, "Hey, we can do a pastoral conference here in Ecuador. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it." And we connect with the Pastor Felix and his team. And Endos Network is I think it's a new ministry for the church planting network. They're gonna be, ¿cómo dices? Cumplir un año.
To complete a year or
Complete a year. Yeah, I think this coming May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're very, very new.
Yeah, but we are now more than 50 countries that
50 countries?
yeah, that we have the church planting network.
Hey, this story is for you and also for others, so share with your friends. My name is Jennifer Rodriguez, I'm from El Salvador, and this is Between Brothers.
Okay, so Endos Network is in 50 countries,
I think more.
more than 50, with 250 or more people studying to be a
between,
pastor.
yeah.
Okay. And so Endos Network is a church planting network.
Yeah,
And you were here in Fort Worth
yeah,
with the For His Word conference,
Yeah.
which is Ante Su Palabra
Yeah,
on Spanish.
Ante Su Palabra, yeah.
How does that connect with the Endos Network?
because you know also I saw some guys of Rio Grande too. We are a sponsor of that conference.
Okay.
For to gonna have some contacts with other church leaders, some pastors.
Endos Network is?
Yeah.
Oh, were you there as a representative?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
wow.
invite me to be here.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I come here. But I come here by myself. Endos Network, they invite me to meet, and also
Okay.
yeah, they have
Okay.
opportunity to
Is
come
your
here.
church in Yaruquí?
Yeah, Yaruquí is one of the part of the city of Quito.
Okay, good. Good to mention Yaruquí
Yeah.
because it's Iglesia
No,
Bautista,
Iglesia Buen Pastor.
Iglesia Buen Pastor, Yaruquí. And there's a B in there, Buen
Yeah,
Pastor. All right,
yeah.
not Baptist. Is that church connected with in the Endos Network? In
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. Now, a couple years ago, whenever you were, a few years ago when you were last sharing, or I don't remember who was sharing with Redeemer, our local church here,
Yeah, yeah.
they were sharing about wanting to plant like 4 different churches around Quito eventually.
Yeah.
Where is that project right now? How is it advanced right now?
Yeah, there's gonna be that we are advanced a lot.
Okay.
We have a local church that we start. I think 20 or 25 minutes from our church, and also we support 2 other different churches in different areas in Quito. You know, Quito is a biggest city,
Yeah, yeah.
and also.
So you're supporting 2 other churches
Yeah.
in other areas.
In other areas
Did-
in Quito. And now that's was a desire 3 years ago. And now with Endos is one of the ministries you can help the local church to find the person with the local elders. To have the desire to be a planting new churches. How do you know a potential planted churches? Because they love evangelism.
Evangelism?
Evangelism. They love the local church and they love serve.
To serve.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we training with practical programs, and we know some teach about what is expository preaching, what is the church leaders, the church leadership, what is the council, biblical council, a lot of things.
So the Buen Pastor, that church,
Our church, my
do
church.
the other churches, like the church plants, like the new churches, do they have pastors?
Yeah, we help to be more como hacer más, to be more biblical. One of the biggest situations in Ecuador is to let the pastor work alone. They don't
work
have
alone.
work alone. They don't have plural elders.
Okay.
And we know ministry is also is a good thing, and that's the reason we found a humble pastor to say, okay, we need help. We need help. And we know our example for be proud. If we want to be example to help the local churches here in Ecuador, I mean, and that's the reason why to stay here only 2 days, because when I arrive to Ecuador, Thursday and Friday we have some meetings with the other local pastor, and Wednesday we have a pastor who come to Loja, to Quito. Loja is one of the city, the close city from Peru, and also is from Quito is 12 or 14 hours in a bus. And the pastor gonna come to my department and gonna receive and gonna meet. How can we support you? Because a lot pastors work alone.
Oh, yeah, a lot of pastors.
A lot
work
of pastors
alone.
work alone.
What does your ministry look like right now? So when you're not doing the networking for church planting, are you preaching or
Yeah.
are you? What is your like normal week to week ministry looking
Week to
like
week. Okay, I think every year we change the goals. And this year we have to be focused, because we're gonna be planting in 26 in the south area in Ecuador. Now we are training some people that are gonna be in chairs about our ministry. I training local leaders. I do evangelism, discipleship.
When you're training the local leaders, like discipling, Bible
Yeah,
studies.
Bible studies, discipling, how
Okay.
to make a lesson, how to make a exposition for a big group or a small group and something like that. Because if we're gonna be a planting church, if we're gonna be out to my local church, is we need to people who take our job that I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you're planning on going with the church plant,
Yeah.
and you need to train people who will stay
Yeah.
and continue the
Yeah.
discipling and the teaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
A normal bit for me is to go in our local office that we have in our church to plan the week, to visit some brothers, have discipleship, to do a council, and also I have a small group we call Hogares de Esperanza in my church.
Homes of Hope.
Homes of Hope. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a groups connection.
Yeah.
And we have in different areas in Quito.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, I think, 18 groups.
And are you leading one of them?
Yeah, 4.
4 of them?
Yeah, 4 of
You're
them.
leading 4 of them?
Yeah, I lead 4 of them, but I have Timothy for me gonna be lead after me.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're leading 4. Are they in different places? The 4
Yeah.
different ones? So you travel around to the different homes
Yeah,
to lead those home groups?
yeah, homes group. And
Oh, okay. Okay.
And also I am a teacher in a local university. It's not a Christian university.
What are you teaching?
The owners is a Christian and they have a theology program. I
Oh.
teach some Bible classes,
Okay.
hermeneutics.
Do they pay you?
Yeah, they pay me.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That was my next question is your heart that I know of you is to do ministry full time.
Yeah.
So how are your finances? How is God providing for you to be able to work full time in ministry? And this goes back to your parents' first fear, right? Like, how are you going to make money?
Yeah, that's the first question that do my parents to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of, also Rio Grande is a good seminary because in our country we have Senesic. Senesic is one of the department of our government to approve your study that you do in other countries. Like it's a very important thing because if I go to the office of that department of the government, I study here in Rio Grande. I have my transcript.
Transcript, yeah.
Transcript,
because it's an accredited school.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And, and I have my letter from Kids Strasba, and also I have all the program in the title. And they review for a month. Okay, you now you have a licenciatura in teología.
Okay, so now you have a theology
Yeah.
license?
No,
or
like theology bachelor.
bachelor's. Okay.
But they gonna register in the government. So if you find my
It's registered with the government.
Yeah.
The government has on registry. You have your
and you can
bachelor's.
work in some local Christian school, and you can work with some program, and that's important.
So, but do you work enough to pay for all your expenses? Do you work? Is that how?
Yeah, I work. Praise the God. God is sorry. God give me the opportunity. And also Charles too. Ex-student from here. We work in Universitario Romiñahui.
Okay.
It's a local university, and also I am professor of the bachelor program and also the master program.
Oh, okay.
I do
for theology in both of those.
I do apologetics in the master program, and I do for the bachelor I teach a lot of classes.
Okay.
Different classes.
Okay.
And we have also 200 students, and Luis Jimenez, and also they know about more about ministry because he go to Ecuador to visit to me and see what God is doing for me.
Wow. Okay.
To me, yeah.
Luis Jimenez is our director of online studies.
Yeah.
So he visited there with
Yeah.
you all. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Praise the Lord.
we plan to work together. You know, we have some students in our program, and we want to connect with Rio Grande. Yeah, and
Okay.
also they paid to me. I do my classes. I am professor, and you know that's thing connect with the older another pastor because we are a different pastor. We have a different pastor in different areas in Ecuador. And when you are a professor and you know some students say, hey, can you help me with that? I have a question. What's happening? I have a situation in my church, you know. And that's the bridge to connect with our students is, okay, I can help you, and our church can help you with Endos Network to visit our church. You know, you are walk along. How can we connect with us? And that's
Are a lot of
good
your
bridge.
students pastors
Yeah,
at the school? A lot of them are pastoring.
yeah, yeah.
But
I think
and you're
50,
teaching them.
Yeah, 50-50.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's, I think, something people don't realize a lot of times is even the people that are coming here or who want to come here, sometimes they're already pastoring.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, we are short on time and we're
Yeah, I
running
know.
out of time.
I know, don't worry, my friend.
How can
I'm
like
privileged to do that.
thank you,
privilege.
thank you for taking time before
Yeah.
going back to Ecuador tomorrow to stop and talk. I really appreciate it. What maybe to end? What are some ways that everyone can be praying for you right now? Those who want to know how to pray for you in this season of life, how can we be praying for you?
Okay, I think one of my prayer requests is to be more humble and to have integrity. To, you know, if you work for the God's ministry, also the enemies work too. I decided to follow Jesus all of my entire life. I think my second prayer request is for my emotional substation and also my financial economic situation. You know, my desire to go to plant the new churches. I don't know when como cuando me toque a mí. I don't know when it's gonna take to me to go plant the new churches. I want to have full time because you know it's a hard work.
Yeah. Okay. I think like planting a church is really can be a full-time job.
Yeah.
It's a big ministry.
Yeah.
So when that time comes, will you be able to give all your attention to that
Yeah.
instead of also working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also for our desire from our church, for our local church, to help the other different churches in Ecuador and for the planting church. I drink a lot. So, you know, if the unbelievers drink to building more money, more companies, why the Christian don't thinking in a bigger, you know?
Dreaming big.
Drinking big.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that. I have the desire, and also I talked with the son of the director of Endos, and he told me, I have the desire, and I believe in that. Some of the theological Spanish gonna be translate the book that I wrote to English. So you know, some theological books we have only in English and
Right.
it translate to Spanish.
Right. Why not eventually have theological works in Spanish
Yeah.
that are
Translate now in
we
English.
need in English?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, and also for me, you know, I am still single because God's willing, and I want to know my future wife. So, but I don't know. I don't want to do fast. I'm really well now because I travel a lot, and I trust in the God's provision for that.
All right.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
amigo.
Thank you for your
Gracias,
time.
Billy. Thank you, Billy.
This podcast is a part of Rio Grande Bible Ministries. If you want to learn more about the Bible College, that's in Spanish, the language school to learn Spanish, the radio station, or Bibleville, or any of the other ministries of Rio Grande, find us at riogrande.edu. That's our website, riogrande.edu. And if you want to interact with the podcast, if you want to ask questions, give us feedback, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, searching for Entre Hermanos. Make sure to add Rio Grande to your search, and we will be the first ones to show up. Thank you for listening to our podcast, Entre Hermanos, which means Between Brothers.